Hi, I'm a Blisy.
Hey everyone, so today I'm going to teach you how to RNG abuse wild Pokemon in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Now, I'm going to go over a few things you're going to need before you start RNG abusing in this game, and I'm going to go over a little bit of how the methodology works because it's very simple in practice but slightly frustrating in execution. That's what I'll say about it. Okay, so first things first. This only works in Ruby and Sapphire if the batteries are dead. It works in any way in Emerald, so that doesn't matter. Another thing is you're not going to get 6 perfect stat Pokemon. Maybe you can get 4 perfect stats if you're lucky and patient. The way it works in this game is it's in short terms, it's just how long you're willing to wait for a spread. So it could take 40 seconds, it could take 25 minutes depending on how long you're willing to wait. And it's very precise, but I'll get into more of that after I tell you what you need. So in-game, you're just going to need a Pokemon with sweets. You're going to actually, not any Pokemon, you're going to need specifically Oddish. And I will explain why Oddish works once I explain how the RNG works, but you're going to need Oddish for your Sweet Center, and that's it. So besides Oddish, you're just going to need some Pokeballs to capture your Pokemon. And so this will work anywhere you can Sweet Scent, is how I'm covering this. So any Sweet Scentable place, this will work. Then in the computer, you're going to need RNG Reporter, and you're going to need Eon Timer, which is perfect. So the way RNG works in Gen 3 is it's basically a length thing where when you boot the game on, it always starts from the same initial seed. So normally the initial seed changes every time you turn your DS on. If you remember my Gen 6 guide, you can't control the initial seed. It'll change. You have to figure out what it is and then RNG from there. Or not Gen 6, Gen 7, excuse me. In Gens 4 and 5, you control the initial seed by changing the date and time, and then you manipulate the RNG from there with Chadots. In this game, you can't control the initial seed. It's the same exact thing every single time. In Emerald, it's just 0, and in Ruby and Sapphire, it's 5A0. So if you're doing this on a Ruby and Sapphire with a dead battery, in the seed hex box right here, you type 5A0. That's what you type. Not for Emerald. Emerald, you just leave that blank. So then, from there, there is no way to do advancements. The game just advances once every 60th of a second. So that means your button presses have to be down to the 60th of a second exactly. So it can be fairly hard to get it correct, but with the help of RNG Reporter and EonTimer, it shouldn't be too rough. Okay, so from there, what we're going to do is we're going to search for a spread first. So you're going to do method H2. Okay. You always do method H2 in Gen 3 for wild Pokemon. Method H4 and method H1 are just sort of basically they just pop up and they make you miss your seed. That's all that there is to it. This is how 90% of Pokemon are generated for wild encounters in this game. H1 and H4 happen randomly and you can't control it. So then you would type in the nature that you want and stat. I don't care about my nature, I'm just looking for stats. So I want max defense, max HP, and max special attack is what I wanted. Because I'm just looking for a Ditto that can cover the rest of the traits that I've got. So this is perfect. So this is a hidden power bug with 3 stats that I want. That's actually awesome. And it's hasty, which isn't even a bad nature. So the next thing you need to do is check the encounter slot. So we go to PokemonSlots.com, or .org, I think it is. I'll link it in the description, of course. So you go to your area. I'm in Desert Underpass. And encounter slot 4 has a level 41 Ditto. So if we go down here, back to RNG Reporter, this encounter slot 4 perfectly. Encounter slot 8, which is about 2 minutes later, would also have worked actually. No, it wouldn't. Encounter slot 8's a Whismer. So if I went for encounter slot 8, I would never ever get it. So if I went for this one, I'd always get encounter slot 8 and I'd never get a Ditto. So I don't want that. This is what I want. Now, if you know your secret ID and your ID in Emerald version, you can't manipulate it unless you're on an emulator. So, but if you do know it, you can search for shinies as well. I don't know mine, so I'm not going to search for a shiny. Okay, so from here, what we would do is we'd go and we would type this number right here, the frame that we're searching, into the target frame in EonTimer. However, what you have to understand is that since the RNG is just moved by waiting, and you can't control the frame, that means, and the Pokemon is not generated until the frame the battle is started, you have to take into account how long the sweet scent animation is, because that plays technically before the battle starts. Now the sweet scent animation is different in caves than it is outdoors. In caves, it's 7 frames longer, and each Pokemon has a different length. So that's why I said you have to use Oddish. Oddish's sweet scent is always 261 frames. Technically, it's a little less than, it's 259, I think. 259, I think. Because exiting from the menu by pressing sweet scent takes 3 frames, and then it plays Oddish's animation. So exiting the menu and Oddish's animation, which will always happen together no matter what, take 261 frames. Then if you're doing this in a cave, just like me, if you saw Oddish's background for when it did the cry was blue, if you actually do it outside, it's a black background. That's actually just, there's no 7 extra frames. I don't know why, so I'll show you over here. So if you watch this, Oddish's background will be black here. See, in the cave it's blue. Don't know why. And so that blue background makes it 7 frames longer. So what this means is we have to take this into account. So if we go into the calculator, we're going for 19,989, so 19,989, and we're going to subtract that by 268 when we hit enter. So that means we're actually aiming for 19,721. So this is the frame we're going for. So if we're going to go over back to EonTimer, we're going to type 19,721. So now all you have to do, so that's 5 minutes. So, and as I said, so if you can see on RNG Reporter, it tells you it's 5 minutes 33 seconds, 0.15. So, simply put, you soft reset your game, and then you wait 5 minutes and you click sweet scent. It's very simple, and but keep in mind your button press has to be within the exact frame. So it's your button press has to be within 1/60th of a second. So that means you're going to miss it a few times because it's kind of difficult for the human to easily, consistently get the exact button press you need. And on top of this, so you could get better spreads. So like if I searched for this, I could hit generate. Look, that doesn't exist. 4 perfect stats doesn't exist within like 100,000 frames, as you can see here. So yeah, wait, did I mess up? Oh crap, was I searching for, wait. Wait, hold on. I just confused myself. Oh, there we go. Okay, for some reason it wasn't popping up. That's weird. Okay, so yeah, so this is the one we're aiming for. And so we go into EonTimer, we type that in, and then so you hit start on EonTimer, and the pre-timer should be 5,000. So this counts you down, right? The pre-timer, and that's because you soft reset the game. So you hit start, and then when this timer hits 0, you soft reset. I didn't like that soft reset, so I'm just gonna do it again real quick. So again, I didn't like that. I'm gonna do it one more time. It just didn't feel like I was on time. I don't know. That felt better. Okay, so from here you just go as fast as you can to the. You have 5 minutes, so as long as you were saved in the area you wanted to sweet send in, this isn't a big deal. So nothing else affects the RNG. So go to my Pokemon, go into Oddish, and I hover over sweet scent, and then I wait. And when this timer hits 0, right here, that's when I hit Aeon sweet scent. And yeah, so I'm gonna wait now.
In general.
Okay, the end timer is gonna count me down. So I hit A when that hits 0. the 268 frame oddish animation plays, and we get into a battle. So this the first one you can expect to probably not be your Pokemon. So 45. So one of the ways you can check is, it's cool that it's a Ditto, but you can check the encounter slots to see what. So I was going for encounter slot 4. My Ditto should be 41. So this is certainly not my Ditto. I don't know why this. Okay, well, I'll check it later. But okay, so what you gotta do is you gotta catch the Pokemon. So I like to transform it into some little shitter, and just chuck Hyper Balls at it. So the reason I don't let it transform into my Swampert is because if it transforms into my little 89 Swampert, he could kill my Swampert, and he could kill my whole team, and then I would just not be able to catch him and check my stats. So while I'm doing this, I'm gonna open up a Cerebi stat calc. So it's gonna be Ditto. I don't know the nature yet, but it's level 45, so I type that in. Okay, so we're gonna go check our Pokemon here. So, alright, I don't know that nature. Let me double check it. Oh, totally. Okay. Oh, where the hell are you? Oh, here it is. It's mild. Okay. So, it's a mild Ditto. So, I'm going to type all this into Cerebi stat calc real quick. It's mild. It's got 102 HP, I think. Or 103. Okay. 103, 61, 54, 60, 55. Oh, 53, 55, 53, 55. I'm going to hit calculate. Okay, so from here we're going back into RNG Reporter. And so we were looking for a hasty one at frame 19. So first of all, the thing we got to do is clear these, right? We're going to start our frame at 19, 9, oh, 19, 900 right there. We'll say we can be within like 100 frames of it. And we're going to leave hasty check because that's the nature we were going for. If you were aiming for a specific nature, you would have already had that specific nature checked, and you would leave it checked. I did not have it checked because I wasn't looking for a specific nature, so that's fine. Anyway, so then we're also going to check off mild because that's the nature of the Pokemon we caught, so we could see how close it is to the frame we were, and I hit generate. Okay, so we were going for... This is the frame we were going... No, it's not. Yeah, no, this is the frame we were going for. So I got a mild, and let's see. So the way you can check is these stats look like they line up with what Cerebi's telling me. However, if you take a look here, it's encounter slot 1. Encounter slot 1 is a 35 Whismur, so that is not this. So looking for another mild one with these same stats, actually, or similar stats. Although I don't know what encounter slot. I don't know what encounter slot. Oh, it could be this one, huh? Encounter slot 11? What's encounter slot 11? Wait, I can't. Ah, crap. Alright, encounter slot 11. Oh, crap. I lost the... Alright, encounter slot 11 is a Ditto. It won't tell me the level of the last one, but I'm going to assume it's 45. So this is looking like the one we got, boys. So by comparing the stats and comparing... because this all lines up with Cerebi stat calc. It's telling me all these stats. And lines up with the encounter slot. So this is what we hit. So we actually were pretty far. We were like a whole second off somehow. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go into Eon Timer. We're going to type. Oh, so first, actually, you would type the frame that you hit. However, you have to take into account the changes that you made. So 1999, 35. So this is the frame we hit, minus 268. So we hit, according to Eon Timer, this is what we hit, and then we hit update. And then we are just going to retry it. And we wait. So I will see you guys in, well, in 5 minutes of me time. No time for you guys. Alright, with 10 seconds left. Hopefully I can get mine to go this time. So set the timer. We wait the 268 frames that Oddish and the Cave provide. And we see what we get here. So this is a Ditto. It's 41 Ditto. Again, I think I'm going for a 43 Ditto. Let's see here. Was I in counter slot 4? Oh, maybe this is right. Oh, oops, sorry, hold on. I'm making this video take longer. Okay, so I switched into a Calibrating Pokemon. So like I said, one of the ways you can check is you compare encounter slots. So this is the frame I'm going for. Encounter slot 4 is what I want. I checked the encounter slots. Encounter slot 4 has a 41 Ditto. So it's not 100%, obviously, but it's just like a good... Oops, that's Camtasia. I have whoopsie daisies, guys. My gosh, I'm just spaghettiing all over this. So, oh my god. Alright. Alright. Check Hyper Balls. That is the plan. Okay. So it's not like a 100% indicator, but it's just a nice little, ooh, maybe this is the Ditto I was looking for, get my hopes up kind of situation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open these. I'm gonna open the Server Stat Calc. I don't have that on the screen. And we're gonna check what's going on here. So say, all right. So I'm checking the nature right now. That could be hasty actually. Oh, this is the correct nature at least. Okay, so that's a good. Ooh, I like that sign. All right, so now I gotta go and check its stats according to Server. So what am I? 41. So 46, 51, 57, 49. I don't think this is the right Ditto now that I'm typing these stats in. Oh wow, no, it looks like it. What Ditto is this? Hello? 49. It's got two of the perfect stats that I was looking for. That crazy. Special attack, it says, could only be 29. Did I type the special attack incorrectly? Oh, I typed the wrong... Whoops. I didn't put the correct nature in for the Ditto. Oh, so this is actually the correct Ditto according to Serapi's stat calc. Wow, that's sick. I got it in 2 tries. So this Ditto has 3 perfect stats. It's got perfect HP, perfect defense, perfect special attack. And it's got a hasty nature, which is not a horrible nature, in all honesty. So it's as simple as that. That's pretty awesome. So as you can see, I've gotten 3 Dittos from this. I've gotten a Timid Ditto with perfect speed. I've gotten an Adamant Ditto with perfect attack and special defense. And I've got a Hasty Ditto with perfect HP, defense, and attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you guys on Cerebi right here. This is the Ditto that I just typed in. God damn it. Oh, this is fine. You can see this. As you can see, it's got 3 perfect stats here. These are all the stats if you want to compare it to my game. Where's my Ditto at? So if you compare it down here, let me open that back up. It's simple as that, and that's pretty good. This can be tedious, but this went pretty well. It only took me 2 tries, so it took me 10 minutes to get a 3 perfect stat Ditto in Gen 3. That's, in my opinion, that's not bad at all. Other than that, the only thing I have to say is remember, if you're doing Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, hit 580 for your seed. That is Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald seed. Yeah, other than that, just leave any questions you have in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helped. And I will see you next episode. I'm probably going to do an Emerald breeding thing soon.